everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today, after a extended hiatus, might I add, I'm going to continue reading you my atrocious stories from when I was 10 years old. So, I have to admit I was being a bit redonkulous with my criticism of my younger self. There's a lot of imaginative ideas in my stories in that period. It's just that they're lacking logic and writing ability because I literally started writing when I was 9, and it was a year, probably less than a year actually. Who fucking knows? I don't know. Anyway, where we last left off, we had oh fuck, this page is coming out of it. Wait, what? Apparently I fucked up the order of these pages. Oh wait, never mind. I guess the book kind of opened to a different page. But, anyway. Now we're on the second book in the Catacula series, which Catacula was very much inspired by, the Bunnicula books, if you haven't read those. I think I already said this, but, very inspired by those books. And in this one, since the last one was basically Cole's perspective, Cole's, the main character and all that, this one is Oreo's book. Which a lot of kids books back in the early 2000s did that shit. They'd have multiple characters in one book, and then they'd switch perspective as it went on. The Nerds series, that's another one. Anyway, this one is called Catacula 2. I'm back. I'm Dracula, baby. I'm sorry. Okay, I need to stop. So, how many chapters are in this one? Revenge of the Sea Monkeys. I don't remember that. "19 chapters. Huh. Neat. Anyway, enough dilly-dallying, mate. We're gonna get into this now. And, oh, wait a second. Yes, enough dilly-dallying. Let me get my fucking phone. I'm so sorry. Okay. Hi, it's me again. Everything is fine here ever since we had to stop Dracula from taking over the world. I am still calling Sparkles the evil one because she does not play with me. Cole has been playing with me for almost once a week. What we didn't know was that Dracula was back, really. Just gonna drop that in the first fucking paragraph of the fucking story. Congrats, younger me, you're such a god of storytelling. It began on a peaceful Friday morning in the middle of summer. It began to snow. Typical Wisconsin weather, I guess. Seriously. Cole said, well, that's weird. By the way, Cole's completely transformed to a vampire cat. You couldn't let the story tell us that instead of explicitly stating. Whatever. Stop critiquing 10-year-old you. God. Cool. But please don't tell him that. He'd freak out. I know this because I read his book. Wait, so in this universe, these books are being released? Cats can publish novels? Ah, yes, the logical consistency of this world is very interesting. As you'll see, it's very fucking interesting because later in the second one, something happens. Something fantastic. Something fantastic happens there, all mate. Something fantastic. Anyway, apparently, he thought when I bit him, holy cow, she bit me. Okay? Why is that a detail that we need to know? What does that contribute to the story? Let's get on with the story. That wasn't me, that was literally in the fucking book. Let's get on with the fucking journal, man. I don't understand Youngami's writing. I really don't. Out of nowhere, a spaceship landed on the front lawn. Wonderful build-up. Congrats. You're so good at writing, 10-year-old me. Congrats. Um, Startling me out of my skin. Oh, so you're dead. Got it. That's when I realized it was Dracula's ship. Well, Oreo is most likely dead now. Wherever she is. Looks like my... Chapter 2. I tried to warn Sparkles, but she said I was lying. I told her to follow me. When she saw the ship, she said, "Holy moly, he's back." Why do you immediately assume it's Dracula? Why do you immediately assume that? The last time we saw him, he disintegrated. Exactly. Great observation skills. Does it just have "I am Dracula" on the fucking spaceship or something? I swear. That's when we wondered, where was Cole? We found him on the porch, frozen with fear to the top of the dormer? Doormat? It's doormat. When we got there and saw him, we both said, "Run." All three of us tried to warn their owners that their lives were in danger. Hmm. Yes, of course. Cat's trying to warn me and my family that Dracula's just in the front lawn, despite the fact I'm pretty sure we hear a fucking spaceship land in front of our house. Whatever. Oh boy. Chapter 3. When our owners saw the spaceship, they ran and hid in the attic. That's honestly the most realistic reaction anyone has had in these stories. So, we went up to the attic and found that Oliver wasn't there. Oliver was our owner's dog. Yes, thank you for expositing. We ran to the porch and found a note that read, "If you want your dog, come to my castle. The..." I don't know why Dracula's a Russian accent, he just does now. Get over it. That's when Cole said, "Not that place again." That's when I remembered that we had taken one of Dracula's rockets, stuck it on the airplane, and brought it back. How do you forget that? Also, how? What? Okay. So we hurried to our secret underground base where we kept the rocket. Okay. Okay, underground base that cats apparently made. Let me remind you, the characters are cats. What the fuck? Oh boy. We put it on autopilot and flew back to Dracula's castle. We left our owners a note so it didn't look like we abandoned that. How? You don't have opposable thumbs. What? Okay, I'm. This is honestly like a laugh fest at this point. Chapter Chapter 4. We got to the castle. It seemed like it had grown. It looked like it had changed. Redundant, much redundant. It seemed like it had grown. It looked like it had changed. Great job. Great job with the descriptive words there, buddy. Oh my god. It was no longer dark because it was covered with snow. Oh, so this snow is a worldwide occurrence then. It's not just Wisconsin weather. Got it. Apparently Transylvania's getting snowfall too, in the middle of summer or whatever. Good grief. It seemed less scary than it had been before. What? Snow falls onto a castle and it's not scary anymore to you? What? What seems strange is that it looked like all the lights in the castle were on. When we went in, the room was lit with the same eerie light that Sparkus and Cole had seen the last time they were here. The light had changed color, even though it was still gave the same eerie glow. Now it was red. Blood red. Oh no, guys, red is scary. You know what that means. Oh boy. Cole said, "Where is that? What is that? What if the light is actually glowing blood?" What? Glowing what? Okay. I noticed we were being watched by a shadowy figure in the room, the same figure Cole mentioned in his book. Ah, yes, of course. Oh my god, what a nightmare. Chapter 5. All of a sudden, the lights went out. There was a wind. A wind that stunk of blood. When the wind blew, the figure crashed to the ground with a thud. Oh, okay. It turned out to be Oliver on stilts. How did it what? What? What do you mean? How did he get there? Well, it just explained it. Dracula was kidnapped him. Whatever. But still, he's on stilts. Okay. He'd been wrapped in a cape. That's why we didn't recognize him. He warned us to get out of there now. He told us Dracula didn't only want to take over the world, he wanted to take over the universe. And wants to do it with sparkles. Oh, of course. Uh, why? What is his fascination with sparkles? What? I can understand that. She is pretty evil. Why? Because she doesn't like you? Okay. Then another figure appeared in the shadows. Oliver yelled, "Run!" So we ran for the hills. Okay. Oliver led us for 40 days. Biblical talk now, huh? We just walked for 40 days and 40 nights. Okay. Totally. Totally. Why not? He said, we led us for 40 days till we came to a mountain. He said Dracula was keeping a secret device to take over the world there. Of course. Cole asked which mountain it was. Oliver said it was Mount Everest. Got it. So you walk from Transylvania to fucking Mount Everest in 40 days. I don't think that's possible for cats, let alone humans. Who knows? God, I don't. Maybe it is possible for humans. Who knows? I don't know how long it would take you to walk from there to there. Probably way longer, though. Upon hearing this, Cole fainted. I guess he was still tired from all the traveling he had done in chapter 13 of his book. He's still not used to going long distances, and Mount Everest was no exception. I think that's a reasonable reaction to being told, hey, we're gonna have to climb the tallest mountain in the world when we're cats and one dog. I think that's a reasonable reaction. Oh, good grief. Oliver said, we really could use the rocket. We left it back at the castle, you dope. Sparkle said sarcastically. I totally butchered that word here. Holy fuck. This woke Cole up from his comatose state and said, "Meanie." He then fainted again. Okay, that's pretty funny. I got to admit. Um, Oliver began to drag him up by his collar. Oliver, a tiny, medium-sized dog, is able to drag Cole up a mountain. Cool. Oliver began to drag him by his collar up the mountain. After 60 miles. Okay. Cole awakened and said, "Brr, it's cold. I don't think." How many miles tall is Mount Everest? Huh. After 60 miles, Cole awakened and said, "Brr, it's cold." When he realized where we were, he fainted again. Fainting is a side effect of being bitten by a vampire. I'm glad that I specified it being as like being bitten and not being a vampire. Because if Oreo wasn't fainting, that's a. We decided to rest for a month. A month? Hmm. A month. Got it. Fucking. What are they gonna eat? We decided. We burrowed into the snow. We lived off snow cones and snow rabbits caught by Sparkles herself, and then we began to climb. Yes, snow rabbits on Mount Everest. But okay. Chapter 6. Okay. After 4 days, about 4 days later, we were in the clouds. Cole was finally up. Then we heard a thud. We followed the sound. Note, add what device looks like. What? What device? And realized it was Sparkles planting a flag on the summit. Okay. When she plants the flag, it made the snow fly, revealing a hatch. We opened it, and Cole fell into the hole. We were in a row behind Cole, and Sparkles pushed us all in. But even she fell in behind us. We fell forward for what seemed like hours. When we got to the bottom, something soft broke our fall. We then heard Cole yell, "Ow!" We realized we had landed on him. So you fell down a hole for what seemed like hours and landed on top of Cole, and he didn't die. Even in Madison, that cat was old, so bit sus. Ugh, I just said that. We lit a torch and found something horribly scary, for we saw the gargoyle from Dracula's castle staring at us. Then we heard Oliver scream, "Ah, what's is that thing?" Sparkles replied meanly, "That's not a word. Whatever. It's a gargoyle, you dummy." I mean, you probably might be wondering why there's no curse words for when a 10-year-old wrote this. Let me just say I didn't know any curse words. I really didn't. And even if I was way too much of a straight, I was way too much of like a straight-laced ass kisser, grown-ups type of kid to even curse. So. We turned back towards the gargoyle and it wasn't there. Then we heard raspy breathing coming from above us. Cole looked up and yelled, "The gargoyle's alive!" Then there were 20 gargoyles. In a split second, it appeared the first gargoyle had called 19 of his friends. Cool. It turned out that Cole wasn't hallucinating. I literally wrote hallucinating. Oh, LLY. Hallucinating when he said he'd seen more than one gargoyle when he was at the castle the first time. Then everything went black. Oh no, everything went black, huh? Oh really, everything went black. Well, dun. I'm sorry, I was fucking stupid. Um, Matthew, talk to me. Chapter 7. When the lights came back on, we found ourselves back in Dracula's castle. Oh, that's scary. That's scary. I just brain blast. Oh my fucking god. Brain blasted. Okay. Okay, Matt. Whatever. When the lights came back on, we found ourselves back in Dracula's castle. We were in a room we never been in before. There was a picture of Dracula on the wall. Makes sense, you're in his castle. I thought I remembered the room from some time in my past, but I couldn't remember what it was. The memories were really foggy. And then I saw something in the picture that I had not noticed before. I was sitting on Dracula's lap. So you're saying that Oreo's an immortal vampire and that you. Okay, neat. Cole asked, how did you become a vampire, Cat? I think he asked that because he too saw the picture. I told him I honestly couldn't remember. We decided to explore the room to see if we could discover how I turned into a vampire. Cole found a page in what appeared to be an old journal. I found the black and white cat outside today. I plan to call it Oreo. D. Cool. That's... Apparently Dracula keeps a journal. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a shit ton of sense. For someone to be alive forever, like, yeah, they do anything to keep themselves occupied. That makes a lot of sense, writing a journal. Yeah. Chapter 8. Sparkles found a moldy, dusty journal behind the picture. We decided to take the journal with us and read it back home. Cole found a vent that said Oreo's fire escape. I realized I must have lived here in the past. Wow, grade A deduction skills there, Sherlock. No! Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, good lord. Kill me now. Don't actually do that. When we got home, our owners were out in the yard, holding the note we had left behind. They were saying, "That's impossible. Cats can't write." Well, I think that wouldn't. You have been gone for at least a month. At least a month. And we're just now finding this note. I see. That makes sense. When they saw us with the journal, they thought it was a rabbit because it was so dusty. I guess me and my family are just utter simpletons in this story. We went inside to see what secrets the journal held. We began to read the journal. As we opened it, Dracula made it very clear that no one should read this journal. A voice came from the journal saying, "Do not read." Of course, because Dracula's real his privacy. That's cute. It's actually kind of fucking. That's like, that's an interesting characterization of him. I'm trying to get myself confidence, I'm trying to, but it's hard because the majority of this is just utter garbage. So, you know, we found the date that Dracula started the journal and knew that he'd been alive for a very long time. He'd started this journal 2 centuries ago. That would explain why the pages were so dusty. So, this story, if I am to believe by the date, takes place in 2010. So, like, 1810. Yeah, obviously. Like, fucking Christ. No, whatever, mate. It's only like 17. No, 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 stop being the dumb. Yeah, it's 1710. Yeah, that's old. Look, I'm not the best at math, okay? We continued to turn the pages till we found an entry titled, "Great New Invention Made." It was the TV. 200 years ago? Mm-mm. Mm-mm, buddy. This was long before it was invented anywhere else. Okay, I acknowledged it. Then we found what looked like an old videotape. What? Okay, I guess Dracula somehow managed to make technology. Neat. Then we found what looked like an old videotape. It was entitled "The Day Oreo Turned into a Vampire." Why would you record that? What? We went into our underground base and put in our tape player. In the video, there was a man we'd never seen before. He was saying he'd made a machine that could turn living things into vampires. I wonder who it is. You found the tape in Dracula's journal. It's talking about Oreo turning into a vampire. And he made a machine that turns living things into vampires. I wonder who it is. Then he stepped into the machine, not noticing that a small black and white cat followed him into the machine. So Oreo is 200 years old. That's an old cat, holy shit. Door slammed shut and the machine glowed green. The door opened and out came the man again with a cape. This time we recognized him. It was Dracula! Of course it was. Good grief. We didn't recognize the cat, but didn't recognize the cat either. Now it looked more like me. Then the screen went black. Chapter 9. Just then we heard Ella coming down the stairs. She found our secret base. Okay. Neat. Sparkles ran to the panic room. When she came down the stairs and saw us typing on the keyboard, she froze in place and called her dad. She ran up the stairs to get him. That's actually realistic, I'd say. Like, fucking kid. Like, not, like, 8-year-old kid seeing that. Yeah, totally. Totally. We got into the rocket and flew back to the castle. When we got there, we went back into the same room where we found the journal. We looked around to see if we could find the machine that was in the video. We found it hidden behind the same picture where Sparkles had found the journal. It looked as if Dracula had shrunk it down to the size of a mouse. So he is a shrink ray. He made TV 200 years ago. He had technology such as a VHS tape, and he is a shrink ray. Okay. This is so whack ass version of Dracula. Oh my gosh. Cole touched it and grew to the size. What? It grew to the size, and it grew to the size it was in the video. Cole then walked in, and Sparkles set it to normal mode. Then it began to glow green, just as it had in the video, but it was much brighter. When Cole stepped out of the machine, he was on the 2 paws and began dancing like he was happy to be a normal cat again. So he suddenly gained the ability to walk on two legs and do a little jig. Got it. Please do not tell Cole this, but when he was a vampire, he was 1,000 years. How the fuck? What? Okay, that throws it all in there. How does vampire aging work? Because if Cole's 1,000 years, despite being turned like a year or so, like a month or whatever, how? What? That doesn't make sense. The fuck? Oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with younger me? It's just fucking stupid, man. Because for him to be 1,000 years old, he'd have to have been born in like fucking 1010. Like, bruh. Oh no, Sparkles just read this manuscript and saw what I wrote. Oh no, how terrible. What? I can just finish this in the video and upload it. Chapter 10. A few moments after Cole started dancing, the door swung open, and in walked Dracula. It turned out he had put an alarm system into his journal, letting him know if anyone had read it. Suddenly, the wind that stunk of blood filled the room and blew out the candles. When the candles were lit, we found ourselves back in the same dungeon we had been put in where we received the note from Oliver. And Oliver was with us this time. We found a note on the floor that said, "They put you in here because it's the dungeon for animals. Of course, so Dracula has a designated cage for animal prisoners. Got it. Because that's a normal thing he has to deal with. And Sparkles asked, why doesn't he just talk instead of leaving these notes? That's a good point. We heard a rocket blast and realized it was Dracula. We started frantically looking for a secret passage. We couldn't find anything. So Oliver started digging a hole that Sparkles and Cole had used in our last adventure. The hole led to a tunnel that ended outside of the castle wall. Totally. Began to hail ice the size of rockets. Okay, you're dead. All of you are dead. Humanity is dead for that matter. Holy shit. Sparkles began to chip away at a chunk of ice to form an ice rocket. This took about 4 minutes. Yes, cat claws. 4 minutes can sculpt a functioning rocket. Cool. This took about 4 minutes. We took off on the ice rocket. Sparkles had also managed to carve a TV that actually works. In 4 minutes, on the news there was a story. Giant ice chunks flowing over Transylvania. The storm is spreading and now covers half the globe. So I was right, humanity's dead. Got it. It took a minute to realize who was behind this. Dracula! We had to stop it. We had to stop the storm before it got to the US and Madison. Otherwise, Rums would be in danger. Then remember that Ella had found the underground basin would be safe. What the fuck is this? Revenge of the Sea Monkeys by Owen DeVries. April 11, 2013. Fuck. So it starts up again here. Got it. Anyway, this video is long enough. Thanks for watching. I am continually impressed with how absolutely stupid my younger self can be. So, yeah, that was a lot of laughs. I had a lot of fun doing that. I guess I'll see you in the next video. Whatever, bye-bye.